Alrighty, here we are, guys, at the last translation of stage 21 of Cambridge Latin, Memor suscipit 2. So Memor undertakes a task 2. Let's jump into it. It's a fairly short translation, so we shouldn't take too long. So Memor has just been told by Salvius to poison the king, and this is what he decides to do next. Kefle, kefle. So Cephalus, Cephalus. Libertus a memore vocatus celeriter intrat paculum vinifert. The freedman, having been called by Memor, enters quickly. He brings a cup of wine. So, libertus is the subject of intrat, and then he's the implied subject of fert. Vocatus is perfect past participle, which means everything between the two commas is a perfect past participle, and a memore is an ablative agent. Celeriter is an adverb, and then vini is going to be a descriptive genitive, so it's a cup of wine. Cur mihi vinum offers. Why do you offer wine to me? So why are you offering me wine is what he's saying. Remember, that's an interrogative adverb. Non vinum sed consilium quaero. Not wine, but counsel I am seeking. So I'm not seeking wine, but I'm looking for counsel, advice. Ubio te mihi consilium quam clarime dare. I order you to give counsel to me as quickly as possible. So UBO is introducing indirect command. Remember that the indirect command is going to be expressed with an infinitive, which is dare. And that infinitive right here is going to have an accusative subject, which is te. It's going to have an indirect object of mihi. It's going to have a direct object of concilium. And then we're going to have a little adverbial clause there, quam celerime, which means as quickly as possible, right? So I order you to give me counsel as quickly as possible. Rex cogitobnus huc venit remedium morbe petens. So the king Cogitobnus came here seeking a remedy for illness, right? Huc, remember, is that adverb that means here. And petens is a present active participle describing cogitobnus, and it is taking the accusative direct object of remedium, which means remedy, and the morbus is going to be, it means like illness or disease, and it's a genitive, a descriptive genitive, but probably translated as for. A remedy for his illness is probably the best way to translate it. Imperator a cogitobnus saipe vexatus iam mortem eius cupit. Imperator ipse jubit me hoc ficere. So let's translate. These are actually two sentences. There probably should be a period there, full stop. The emperor, having been annoyed often by Cogitobnus, now desires his death. The emperor himself orders me to accomplish this. Alrighty, let's break apart the grammar here. So the emperor is the subject of Cupid, desires. He is described by this perfect passive participle vexatus. Everything between the two commas is a participial phrase. Saipe is an adverb, and akogidobno is an ablative agent. Iam is an adverb now. He desires the death. That's a direct object of Cupid, and eius is from isse. It is a genitive. It means his death. Imperator ipse, that's a intensive pronoun. The emperor himself orders, and orders, remember, is going to take a infinitive. So in indirect command, he orders me, accusative subject of the infinitive, to accomplish this, accusative direct object of that infinitive. All right, quam difficile est, how difficult this is. All righty, Cephalus says, minime facile est, not at all, it's easy. Don't need to explain the grammar there. Poculum venenatum habeo mihi alatrone agiptio olum datum. A poculum, a cup. What kind of cup? A poisoned cup, a poisonous cup. So a cup filled with poison. Habeo, I have a cup filled with poison. Having been given to me by an Egyptian robber, olim, long ago, adverb. So the poculum, nantum, is described by this perfect passive participle, datum, a cup having been given, and then That in and of itself is going to take this dative indirect object, referring to whom it was given, and then it's going to take this ablative agent. All right, so I have a cup of poison having been given to me long ago by an Egyptian robber. The venenum in populo calatum vitam clarime extinguere potest. The poison is able to extinguish life quickly. What poison? The poison having been hidden in the cup. Okay, so poison having been hidden in a cup is able to extinguish life, to kill life, to reduce life, whatever you want to call it, quickly. That's a superlative adverb, very quickly. All right, everything between the two commas is a perfect passive participle phrase, and in populo is a locatival ablative. All right, and venenum is its neuter, so it's the subject of potest. Concilium quod mihi proponis periculosum est, quidobno venenum dare timio. So the counsel which you propose to me is dangerous. I fear to give poison to coccydubnus. So concilium is neuter, which is why periculosum is also neuter, linked by this copulate verb. And then we have a relative pronoun right here, which means that everything in between these two commas is a relative clause, which you're proposing to me. Coccydubno is in the dative, so I fear to give poison, dative of reference or indirect object to coccydubnus. All right, nihil periculi est. There is nothing of danger. So he's saying it is not dangerous, essentially. But nihil is an indefinite sort of word, which is why you describe it with a descriptive genitive. Nothing of danger, it is. So there's nothing dangerous. The rex quotiens e balneo exit ad fontem Dei ire solit. The king, whenever he exits from the bath, is accustomed to go to the fountain of the goddess, right? So this is a adverbial clause. It's temporal. Whenever he exits the bath, is accustomed. Solio takes a complementary infinitive. This is a prepositional phrase. It's an accusative of motion towards, and Dei is genitive there. Tum necesse est servo prope fontem Dei stare et poculum regi praebere. Then, so conjunction, it is necessary, dative, for a slave, stare, to stand, near the fountain of the goddess, so prepositional phrase, and, so second complementary infinitive in this, and to provide a cup to the king, right? So then it is necessary for a slave to stand near the fountain of the goddess and to provide a cup for the king. Memor, and then we've got a little direction here, stage direction, delectatus, having been delighted. That's a perfect passive participle, but you could just say very pleased or just pleased. It's not a superlative. So memor, pleased. Concilium optimum est. This is the best. This is a very good idea. This is the best counsel. Literally is what it says. Nullis tamen servis confido. I, however, trust no slaves. I don't trust any slaves is probably the best way to translate this. And confido is going to take datives, just like credo. Sed tibi confido, but I trust you. Again, confido is taking a dative. Cafale, that's a vocative. Ubio te ipsum cogidobno poculum praebere. Again, ubio is introducing indirect command, which takes an infinitive. I order te, accusative subject, you to provide the poculum to cogidubnus. I order you yourself to provide the cup to cogidubnus in the dative. So I order you to provide the cup to cogidubnus. Eu, alas, mi rem difficilimam imponis. So, oh no, you impose a very difficult thing, superlative, to me. So you are imposing a difficult task for me, very difficult task for me. Vita mi cefale est plena rerum difficulum. So same thing that was said in the previous passage. So nice, you've got to say it twice. Life, my dear Cephalus, is full of difficult things. And remember, plena takes a descriptive genitive. Alrighty, that's it for stage 21. I will see you in stage 22.